Mehta is a biotech entrepreneur, licensed pharmacist, attorney, law professor, and the former nominee for the US Senate, New Jersey. Rick is the first Indian American to have won the Republican Senate primary in New Jersey. Rick is currently contesting as the Republican candidate from New Jersey's 7th Congressional District. Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX, Vaku Vasudeva Kutumbakam, the entire world, big family. Joining me on the broadcast is an PIO, a person of Indian origin from the United States. He is a well-established name when it comes to bureaucracy, when it comes to politics in the United States. In fact, Rick Mehta, it's great to have you. You ran the election for the US Senate to represent New Jersey back in 2020. And it's great to once again have you on the show.
Yeah, thank you, Megha. It's always a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
You know, Rick, I want to understand, and the people who are watching you at this point of time want to understand your journey, your roots from India, and how it took you from being a biotech entrepreneur, innovator, you are running businesses, to then going ahead and deciding that you need to make a difference and get straight on into US elections.
Yeah, absolutely. I love my story, Megha. Let me tell you, my family story started 52 years ago when my father immigrated from Mumbai to Scranton, Pennsylvania. He only had $100 in his pocket. He had to borrow some money from his uncles, begging. We didn't grow up with much. And when he came, he flew into JFK Airport, saw the Statue of Liberty, took a bus to Scranton, Pennsylvania. You can imagine a 19-year-old boy seeing 2 feet of snow on the ground in a town in 1969, Scranton, Pennsylvania. But they worked hard. They had to, really live the American dream. We didn't have many options at the time. My father was the eldest of 6 brothers, and he really had to come here to this country to make it. And that's the beauty of America, to be able to live the American dream and make it if you work hard.
I think that story is brilliant. Daunting an affair of somebody like a 19-year-old going ahead all on his own, fighting it out and making a business, making an entrepreneurship out of it, and bringing you up, and you at this point of time at a juncture which is all encompassing, extremely bright. Elections in politics. So I'm sure you have the enterprising quality of your father, and that has taken you where you are at this point of time. So why that particular, push towards politics?
Yes. Yeah. So I got to tell you, I have the sort of the entrepreneurial ingenuity from my father, but I think the somewhat extroverted charisma of my mother. Now, let me just finish my story real quick, because I love this other part of it. I always talk about my father, but I want to highlight my mother. My mother also immigrated to this country, and she was in Philadelphia, where my grandparents moved to New Jersey. My parents actually met at Temple University in Philadelphia, probably one of the first. They were a love marriage, but both their mamas knew each other back in Mumbai, and they blessed the engagement. And let me tell you, they were probably one of the first Americans of Indian origin to get married in the United States. He got married right in Philadelphia on Christmas Day. And so that, I've accomplished a lot. And similarly, I met my wife. I'm a pharmacist, an attorney. I worked at the FDA in varying positions. I ran a health department. But really what drove me the most is to make sure that our political environment, our policies, our landscape is favorable to raise families, to keep the values that we've been raised with from our family, from our parents, from generations past. And I saw that slipping away in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. So more than being a biotech entrepreneur, more than running businesses, more than being in the health professional, more than being an attorney, more than all of that for me, it was the family values, the policies that help protect our children, to help them nourish and to grow. Now, Megha, my wife and I, similarly, we met at Rutgers University. We have 3 boys, 7, 5, and 3, and they mean the world to me. So everything I do and everything I'm driven to do is to make sure that I leave our state and our country a little bit better for them and for their families and generations forward, just like my parents did.
I think congratulations to you. You're doing a fantastic job and bright futures for your 3 kids. I'm sure they're going to have and bring about laurels to you and your family and your legacy. But what I am interested in knowing, Rick, at this point of time is that being a politician, going ahead and campaigning on the streets of New Jersey, you must have touched a lot of people's lives because you're interacting with them, you're wanting to understand their problems, their issues, and go ahead and resolve them. And that's the mark of a true statesman. Or eventually, when you go ahead and pick up those positions, you're working for the people. And when an Indian origin individual goes ahead and speaks to this plethora of diaspora, not just the diaspora, but also diversities and ethnicities that are present in the United States and New Jersey, what have you experienced? Has there been I wouldn't say a complete change, but a transformative change with regards to how India used to be viewed upon and what India is viewed upon at this point of time by the world and especially in the United States?
Yeah. Well, I think, putting political parties aside, I think both parties recognize the contributions and values that Indian Americans have brought to America, right? Even just yesterday, I believe, Joe Biden went on record talking about how Indian Americans are taking over the world. Now, he's been known to have racist gaps from time and again, but I think the recognition of the Indian American diaspora and the contributions have been held by presidents alike, President Trump, his relationship with Prime Minister Modi, and soon to be seen what the relationship will be for, Joe Biden and Prime Minister Modi as well. But, for me, now I'm very proud of this. I ran for the United States Senate as the first Indian American Republican, the first person of color to win the Republican nominee for a statewide race in New Jersey, where New Jersey has the second largest population of Americans of Indian origin, only second to California. Now, remember, New Jersey is also the 4th smallest state. We have a concentrated number of people in a tiny little state, which makes sense because it was the home for immigrants. 1/3 of us are immigrants or from somewhere. And when I walked the streets and when I went up and down the state, people really resonated with the message, the immigrant story, the one where you have to work hard to live the American dream, the one where I've achieved the American dream and so proud of everything that we've accomplished. And to those results, I earned the highest number of votes out of any Republican statewide candidate for the state of New Jersey, amassing over 1.8 million votes. Now, it wasn't enough to put the goal, push it over. But, I was going up against someone who was a sitting incumbent who ran for president, and we still did incredibly well. And I think the recognition of the contributions of my forefathers, my parents, my mother and my father, building iconic areas like Oak Tree Road and Edison, along with all the small businesses and the contributions to the healthcare system, really culminated through my campaign, and we got a chance to highlight that, and it really resonated, regardless of race, color, creed, or religion. It resonated with all Americans throughout New Jersey.
It's definitely unprecedented. You being a live example of that. I wish you all the best for the 2022 campaign that you're going to go ahead and already perhaps have started preparing for, and we wish to see you in the Congress, in the Senate, and all the very best for that. I thank you once again, Rick, for joining us on the broadcast for this very special episode of WAKU.
Thank you.
NewsX ITV network have proudly launched the WAKU Diaspora Broadcasting Network.
WAKU DBN will be India's first mainstream platform dedicated to the diaspora community. Help support us. Become WAKU patrons at memboro.com/WAKU. You will get the first access to our interviews, make recommendations, merchandise access, ask questions, and get a shout out of thanks on our TV shows.
You can also suggest to us who should get the WAKU Golden Chakra Awards and also tell us who should get into the WAKU Hall of Fame. Limited memberships are available at 100 rupees per month on Memboro WAKU.
Sign up now. Log on to memboro.com/WAKU.